video, we were at the bottom of Marple Locks waiting for lock repairs, and we ended up spending 5 weeks there. We had another 14-mile round trip to Portland Basin for fuel and a pump out, but overall the bottom of the locks was a lovely place to get stuck.
So yesterday we cruised back up the canal for 7 miles to get some more diesel, and we returned today to find that the arm of Lock 2 has been replaced, so we're going up the flight on Saturday.
This coincided with Richard's birthday weekend, and our son, his girlfriend and their pet hamster came to stay. They were the first staying guests on our boat, and it was great to have some help up the 16 locks on the Marple flight. Richard's birthday was beautiful and sunny, and a good excuse for another fancy home-cooked meal. The upper Peak Forest Canal is over 500 feet above sea level, and some of the best views we'd had from our boat so far.
It's the middle of March and it feels like summer. Sunglasses and sun cream on today. There's roadworks.
So we'd managed to survive a full autumn and winter on the boat, and Richard celebrated by falling into the canal. So it's 1-1 so far, and that includes the dog. When we moved onto the boat, we had every intention of ditching the car and using public transport. Colin's been on buses and trains, but as he's a large dog, he ends up lying in the middle of the aisle. The car makes it easier to visit family and friends, also places of interest away from the canal, doing big shops and visits to B&Q. Sometimes it involves trains and buses to get back to the car, but if we've not travelled too far, we just go back and collect it on a dog walk. Bugsworth Basin is at the end of the Peak Forest Canal, and we ended up staying there for 3 weeks as our generator broke down and we got permission for an extended stay while it was fixed. We also tried out our drone for the first time, so here are a couple of early overhead shots of the boat. We also celebrated 1 year of retirement and another excuse for a fancy meal. While we stayed at Bugsworth Basin, Richard set on a project to build a barbecue cum pizza oven table for the boat. After many trips to B&Q, a lot of head scratching and a few swear words, he completed it and we had our first barbecue in April. As he took over the back of the boat and turned it into a workshop, Colin and I made ourselves scarce and explored the local countryside. the weather in April was so fantastic, Pim's Day came early this year. And we got excited as we watched our boat become more self-sufficient with solar power. We loved winter on the boat, but it's great to see the spring lambs, flowers, nesting geese and our first ducklings. First ducklings.
The first.
Whilst the weather was dry, we cleaned, waxed and polished the boat under Colin's close supervision. We had planned to travel back to Marple Junction, throw a left onto the Macclesfield Canal, then head west towards Chester, then go across the Mersey to Liverpool. Unfortunately, this wasn't going to happen either, as at the end of March there was a breach on the Macclesfield Canal just above the Bosley Locks, which will take 12 weeks to fix and cuts off our route. Finally, after 3 weeks getting ready to leave Buggy Basin. Come on, Colin. Having to reverse out of here, so it's a little bit tricky. Richard's doing a good job. We decided we'd still go down the Macclesfield Canal as far as we could, as we were so close, then turn around and head back towards Manchester and Liverpool via the Leeds and Liverpool Canal again, our third attempt at reaching Liverpool. Yeah. So off the Upper Peak Forest Canal and onto the Macclesfield Canal, and being seen off by a male goose guarding his mate in their nest. Hello, beautiful nesting goose. We really enjoyed Bugsworth Basin and neighbouring Whaley Bridge, which was within walking distance, and having a quiet space outside the boat, but happy to be moving again to a new canal.